reaction now from Bienvenido, I hope I said that right, U.S. President Abraham Enriquez. I'm wondering what you think here, because it's a very important part of the vote, and people are starting to feel the pinch of this. And I keep saying it, and I'll say it again. There's going to be a tipping point where if you keep charging them more for goods and services, they're going to stop doing other things, and they're going to have to pull back, and our economy will suffer. So there's a two-pronged problem here.
Absolutely. Good being with you here, Jackie. So at Bienvenido, we understand, we know that policies mean everything, and Democrat policies have failed Hispanic Americans. Look, our communities are mostly working class. So this inflation has absolutely crushed most family budgets across the country. And this specifically negatively affects young Latinos that want a fighting chance at starting their career and investing in entrepreneurship. Look, liberal elites would like to come on mainstream media and sell this lie that Latinos, all we care about are open border policies, when in reality, time and time again, the data shows and proves that the #1 issue that we Latinos care about are jobs and the economy. So when inflation hits a 40-year high, Latinos are forced to stop, to think, and to realize that this administration, the Democrat Party, have far left the Hispanic community.
Right. And this is an issue that impacts so many people. You might have seen that soundbite before where President Biden called Lester Holt a wise guy for asking about inflation, because people are having trouble with it. Look at some of these prices across the board. People are paying so much more for food, almost 20% more for bacon, 10% more for oil. And we know they're paying 40% more for gasoline, 40% more for used cars. I mean, it feels like it's gotten out of control. Many people say the midterms are the time for Americans, Latino voters, all different types of voters, to speak their minds, but speak them at the voting booth.
Absolutely. And if there's something that Latinos understand is inconsistency. And the Republican Party has been the party of sound policy, consistent policy of uplifting the community. You have the Democrat Party that for years have, really banked on the idea of, police reform, defunding the police. Well, when they realize that actually set crime high, now you're seeing them roll back on their messaging and say, we didn't actually mean defund the police. You now have, health administration saying that masks might not actually be that efficient. You have Robert Francis O'Rourke out here in my home state of Texas saying he didn't really mean about taking guns away. Inconsistency seems to be the trend of the Democrat Party, and Latinos are being awakened to that and realizing that sound policy and being consistent in entrepreneurship, free markets, capitalism is the party of the Republican embracing party for Hispanics.
Abraham, stay right there, because I want to bring in Republican National Hispanic Assembly National Chairman Ronnie Lucero. Ronnie, I'm not sure if you could listen to the conversation that we were having here, but we're talking about how the feelings of Latino voters are changing. Talk to me a little bit about how the GOP can capitalize on that, essentially, because this administration's philosophies aren't what this group stands for anymore.
Well, one of the most important things to realize when it comes to the Hispanic and Latino vote is that the party has to understand the culture and the way the Hispanic community raises their families and their children's. We are very invested in the future of our children and grandchildren, and that's one of the things that's affecting us in a very major way with inflation, is because we invest in our kids' future, their educations, their financial future, and here we are spending more money at the grocery stores and at the gas pumps, energy bills, and so forth. So as a Republican, we have to continue to push that message upon the Hispanic community throughout the country and get them to realize that the policies of the Democrats have failed us for many, many years, but we've had the wrong message as a Republican Party, so we need to change the message and make sure that the Hispanic community understands what we are trying to do and understands that our heritage and our culture is very conservative in nature.
Right. And Abraham made this point earlier. I want you to try to elaborate on it a little bit. He essentially said that so many people have the misconception that the Hispanic and Latino voters only care about open border policies. That's not true at all. In fact, many of the voters have immigrated here legally and are not happy about the policies that we're seeing at the border. And as a matter of fact, these are, as you said, family-oriented, very hardworking, economically savvy voters as well. But just talk to me a little bit more and clear up some of those misconceptions about immigration.
So one of the first things I want to say is don't use Latinx when it comes to the Hispanic community. That's one of the things that the Hispanic community rejects in a major way. But when you talk about policies, you talk about an open border, you know, the majority of Hispanics, the large majority of Hispanics that are in the United States came here legally or natural-born citizens. So those that have actually come the legal process have gone the ways that they need to do in order to succeed and live the American dream, while you have other people that are being allowed to come in freely through the border and just, you know, granted access to all of the livelihoods of the American citizens. So the Hispanic community does reject that. The other thing that we reject is a larger government. You know, we are very connected to our families. We love our families. We love God. We love babies. We protect the lives. So the policies of the Republican Party just aligns more with the Hispanic community. And that's why we're starting to see a big shift when it comes to the way people are starting to vote and the way they see the parties differentiate from themselves between the Republicans and the Democrats.
It's really interesting to see these shifts within groups. And as I said before, we're going to have to see, you know, if voters get out there and have their voices heard during the midterms as a result of what they've been experiencing over the course of the last year or so. Gentlemen, we will follow up with you, but it certainly was great to see you this afternoon. Thank you.
Thank you for having us.